me give you a little bit of a background. 10 or 12 years ago, I found myself on Christmas Eve shopping for last minute gifts, for food that I still needed. Oh, made me a nervous wreck. And I promised myself then I would not let that happen again. So I made a resolution to myself to have all of my main things done by the end of October. Now that includes gifts, that includes all the food for Thanksgiving, and a plan for the Christmas holiday, and one other in between. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the program I want to show you today is one that has worked very well for me over the last few years. And so here we are at the beginning of October, and I'm setting my plan into motion because I want to enjoy the holidays and not be stressed and not be worried. Now, in saying that, I also realize that I have to be flexible. Things can happen between now and then. Plans can change, and it happens. But for the most part, I have something that I can fall back on and make a wonderful holiday season for me and my family and our friends and other folks. So, let me show you. I start with an outline because I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. I'm going to do Thanksgiving and the exact same thing for the Christmas holidays. I'm going to look at the guest list. How many are we going to have? The menu. What are we going to eat? The gifts. How many and who for? And how am I going to decorate? Same thing for December. How many are we going to have? What's our menu going to be? What are the gifts that I need? And how am I going to decorate? So the first part of this plan is how many folks do we expect on each of these days? Now for our family, the holiday season has evolved into 5 major events. Thanksgiving Day, the Friday after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the one in between, my birthday. Yay! The first part of planning for these events is to know how many folks to plan for. So to do that, you have to kind of have an idea of how many are in our family. All right, so let's take a look at our family tree. Hang on, it's going to get bumpy. We started out with me and Papa, and we've been married 22 years. When we got married, he had a daughter, I had a son, and he had a son. And since then, the daughter got married, the son got married, the other son has a special friend, the daughter has 6 little ones, the friend has 2, the son has 2, and then we have siblings and their kiddos that come during the holidays. And we can't forget the nieces and nephews and friends and relations and all the other folks that come during the holidays. And it all makes for a big, happy family. Saying all of that, you can see that we planned for 20 to 30 at each event. Okay, that's manageable. So the first thing I do every year is have a book. And this is a little book that I can carry in my purse, and I use it for all kinds of different things. But I will start, pick me an empty page. I would put a little tab on it so that I can flip right to this page whenever I'm out and about or shopping or I happen to think of something else I need to add. And I will add the different days that we have. So I have Thanksgiving Day, the Friday after, my birthday, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. And this is where I'm going to plan my menus. Friday is when we have our traditional Thanksgiving feast. And Thursday is where we have something different. And this is something that I like to prepare ahead. I can put it in the freezer and throw it all together in the end. So for Thanksgiving Day, I'm going to have something like a chicken and spaghetti. Easy, make ahead, we'll serve a bunch. Now I understand, and I'm okay with the fact that this may change as we go along. Like I say, got to be flexible, but at least I have a starting place. So we would do a chicken and spaghetti, maybe a green salad. We're going to have tea, lemonade, and some sweets of some sort. So I have a general idea of what we want to plan to do. Now for the traditional Friday big feast, we will have turkey, ham, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, we'll have rolls, we'll have deviled eggs that my sister makes because, as we've seen in recent videos, it's not my forte. Cranberry sauce, both the jelly type and the stuff with fruit still in it. We'll have tea, lemonade, and pie. We'll have apple, pecan, and pumpkin. And that is our traditional menu. Now, we've had other things over the years, and we've made lots and lots of things, but we always have lots and lots of leftovers. So I've pared it down to just the things that we really like and that we really look forward to. And it works out great. So there we have it, Thursday and Friday. Well on our way. Now, next is my birthday. And that is typically a Saturday when my sister will come and she brings a fabulous, nothing but bunt, red velvet cake. It's fabulous. That's all I can say. And on that day, we will have something to eat as well for about 20 folks. So, what do I want for my birthday this year? Maybe a pulled pork. Pulled pork sandwiches. I'm liking that already. Pulled pork, chips, potato salad. Oh yeah, that sounds good. And the cake. Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is typically a time when we have been going over to my son's house. They like to get up on Christmas morning and have Christmas with their little family, which is great. And so we go over on Christmas Eve and celebrate with them. Now for that, it's usually an evening meal. So we might have something like, ribs. Oh yeah, I've got some in the freezer that we need to use. Smoked ribs. And with that, we could do baked beans. We could do a pickle tray. Lots of different kinds of pickles and olives and things like that. That would be good. And for dessert, maybe lemon cake. Lemon would be good with barbecue. Yeah. Christmas morning then, we've been going over to our daughter's house. And she has a whole family of kids. They get up early. We wait until the commotion clears out just a little bit before we head over. But we usually have kind of a brunch lunch between 10, 11, something like that. So for that, she likes to make a crock pot chili, chicken chili. And we'll have crackers, saltines and the little oyster crackers. Those are good. We'll typically have chips, dips, and by this time during the holidays, we have all cooked lots of things to take lots of places. So we'll have snacks, desserts, maybe some tiny cupcakes, bite-sized cupcakes, or bite-sized brownies. Ooh, I like that. All right, so there we go. So in just a short amount of time, I have come up with menus for 5 days. Again, realizing that those could change. Now, say that all of this comes to fruition. I have got some recipes that I keep on hand for just this season. Sweet potato casserole, because I never can remember what all to put in it. Green bean casserole, I get it. Sweet potato casserole, I have to have a recipe. So I've got that. I have a crayon orange gelatin salad on the back of this. And if I don't come up with something else for Thanksgiving, we might throw that in there as well. And it's very good. Very complimentary of all those flavors. I've got candied cinnamon sugar nuts that I've made, and they are gone in a heartbeat. Love those. Original Chex Mix. Always make a batch of that at Thanksgiving and a batch at Christmas, because leave it out on the counter and it'll be gone before you know it. And I have a nephew who particularly is fond of that. So I set him a little canister off all to himself. I've got a recipe for some peanut butter and pumpkin dog treats. All of my folks have puppies. And so I will make that and put in their gift baskets, which we'll discuss in a bit. And the other things that I make. I've got my pecan pie recipe here, and I've got spiced tea. This was my mother's recipe for spiced tea. Brings back all the memories of the holidays. And I always put some of that in the gift baskets that I give. So I've got all my recipes handy. Now, when I get ready to make my grocery list, I'll take a legal pad. Got a good pen. Love these gel pens. Okay, so got my notepad. I'm going to draw a line down the middle. This side will be food. This side will be supplies. So let's get our list back out here and let's look for Thanksgiving Day. Chicken and spaghetti. We're going to need chicken. Have that in the freezer. Spaghetti. Have that in the pantry room. The green salad. Need to get those. So we'll need green salad. And I'll decide when I get to the grocery store whether I want a mix or whether I want to make up a salad myself. And we'll need salad dressing. About out in the pantry room, so we'll get some of that. And then we'll add other things as we get closer for the sweets. We'll figure out what we're going to do for sweets. So then for Thanksgiving, for the Friday, for our feast, I'm going to add those things. I'm going to add turkey, ham, because I don't have either of those. I'm going to look at my sweet potato casserole recipe and figure out what all I need of this. I'm going to need some sweet potatoes. Calls for butter, heavy cream, brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, vanilla, eggs, pecans. I restocked the pecans. Have a big bag of those now. We have ground cinnamon, salt, and light brown sugar. All right. So I have all the rest of those things in the pantry. So that's how I plan my food list. I go through, look at my recipes, think about the things that I'm going to make. Like for chicken and spaghetti, I have chicken, but I'm going to need mushroom soup. I have that in the pantry. I'm going to need that wonderful processed cheese. I am completely out of that, so we'll put that on the list. So I'll go through here and make my list, and then I go back and double check. Maybe once, maybe twice. I start this about a week before I'm going to go to the grocery store, so that hopefully by the time I go, I have everything. And I may not and have to send somebody back. You know how that goes. Now, just as important as the food are the supplies that I want. And by supplies, I mean paper plates, napkins, cups, and we have Sharpies, and whenever everyone's over, they will write their name on a cup. So they can use it all day long. I'm going to use plastic utensils because I don't want to be loading and unloading the dishwasher all day. I'm going to write down foil pans to cook a bunch of things in, Although I think I probably have some, but I'll check before I go. I'm going to, let's see, we need tea bags. I know I'm going to need those. And so you get the idea. I'll spend some time just sitting and thinking about things that I need to get. And I'll do that for the Thanksgiving holiday and then right before my birthday. And I'll probably do my birthday and Christmas at the same time and get all those in one fell swoop. So that's how I plan and make my list for the grocery store for my menus. Now that I got the menus planned, I need to start thinking about gifts. Now in my little book that I'm going to carry with me from now until whenever, I have made a list of all the folks that I typically buy gifts for, that being my husband, my kids, my grandkids. And so as I move through here, if I think of something I want to get, I can write it down. The grandkids are old enough now that most of them are texting me their list. You should see these lists. Oh my. Anyway, I'll do the best I can. But what I do is I get a gift for the family, each of the families, and then for the grandkids, I try to get each of the grandkids something, a little something to have. Now, with folks that come in to visit, we will exchange gifts on the Friday that they're all here. And then with our kids, we exchange at Christmas time. So you kind of figure out what works for your family and you go with that. You don't have to buy a gift for anyone. Just being together is more important to me than all of these other things put together. But I'm very thankful that we're blessed that we can share with our family and with our friends. Now, when we're together on that Friday, the cousins like to exchange a little gift. We've devised this way of doing things because it's much more cost effective than everybody buying gifts for everybody else. And the cousins like to see who gets who every year. So what typically happens is one of my sisters and her daughter will draw the names of who gets who. They'll write down the names on one side, put all the names in a hat, and match them up. Text us all the picture of who gets who. Now, the criteria for participating is that you are still in school and or under 18. Once you graduate and or turn 18, you graduate from that little pool of people onto my list. And my list is all those young adults who are moving on from the kiddie table maybe to the big table, so to speak. Now, what I like to do for them is I'll get a card, a variety of cards. I have boys and girls, so I'll get a few. And then I like to do gift cards because who that age doesn't like to have a fun gift card? Especially for eating out. Chick-fil-A and Whataburger, always a big hit. For the girls, maybe Ulta, Sephora, any of those places where they can get makeup and fun things. And for the boys, Bass Pro, Cabela's, Academy, that kind of things. But when in doubt, go with food. Always a hit. And then for each family, I will make a gift basket or gift box. Let me show you what I mean by a family basket. Now, during the year, all year long, when I'm out and about, I'll be on the lookout for a basket, a box, something that I can use to put these together at the end of the year. Typically, I will do 6 of them, and 6 will cover all the folks that I need to cover. Now, I might buy one that's a little bit smaller than this and put it together when I'm doing all the others so that I'll have a hostess gift or a gift for someone who just shows up unexpectedly. I've got something ready. But this is how I'll do one for family. Now, I've got my basket or my box, whatever I'm going to use. But especially when I'm going to use a basket, I'll do this part. Now, this is a big cellophane bag, and this one's really big. I'm going to open it up. me go ahead and set my basket down here. That way I'm not trying to put the basket that's already full into this awkward bag. I buy these on Amazon in a pack of 6 because I do some donation gift baskets for the grandkids FFA things during the year too. So I keep some of these on hand, but they're readily, easily available. All right, so since this has some holes in it where things might fall out, I'm going to take some regular tissue paper, and I've got some Christmassy colors here, and I might take a red and a green. Let's see here. See if I can get a couple of sheets. There we go. Just something that'll hold everything in. All right, so let's take our red. Get down in there. Take our green. Put it down in there. And then I buy this shredded paper. I think I get it maybe at the Dollar Tree or something. I'll put it in the bottom, like cushioning. And this is pretty easy to maneuver up around all of your different things. So, once I have that done, I like to start with a tall thing. And in this case, I'm doing 2 tall things. I have a bottle of sparkling cider. A non-alcoholic choice is good for folks who may not drink or may be expecting or, you know, some other reason. I'm going to put this tall thing right over here. Going to kind of nestle it in. And then I'm going to put my other things around. A good chocolate is always appreciated. Have coffee. All of my folks are coffee drinkers. And this is a box of K-Cups. You could even take these out and sprinkle them around. I'm going to leave this one intact. I've got some doggy treats that I made because all of my folks have doggies. I have some jellies that I made. Going to put those down in here. I like to include a homemade gift. I've got some really good meat sticks, jerky. Put those to where they're right side up. I've got some other candy that's maybe more kid-friendly, some gummy bears. And I love doing these kind of things because it just gives me some creative outlet to make things pretty. And I like to do that. Now I also had found some little bottles of hot sauce, and I have one person in particular in my family who loves hot sauces. So I'm going to stick these in and around. I have an ornament, a Christmas tree ornament. And put that in right there on top. And then you can customize this any way you want with all the things that you've made, with all the things that a particular family loves. You can make them all the same. You can make them all different. You can make it a combination. I've done both, and they're always appreciated. It's like all these little different packages in one big package. Now, here's how easy it is to pull this up after you've got all this in. That came apart. Well, we're going to pretend it did. Now, these cellophane bags can be heat shrunk around your package using a heat gun. Kind of like I do when I do my freezer meals. I have my heat gun. You can do it with a hair dryer, but this will shrink up nice and tight and hold your things in there securely. Maybe if you're going to transport them a long ways or something, but it is shrinkable. going to pretend it didn't care, and I'll fix that later. I have some ribbon. Another piece of ribbon. Now, I like to tie these just into a bow so that you can get into them easily. Or if it's, you know, my brother and I want him to have a little bit harder time, I may tie it into a knot. Not a great bow, but you get the idea. Then if this is too much, gather it up and snip it off. And there you go. Pretty simple, huh? Takes the most time just to be gathering up your things. And this is one of those things that you can do ahead of time. Every time you're out, set yourself a little budget or make yourself a little note of these are the things I'm looking for today. Or just as you're walking through the store, hey, Billy sure would like that. Fun, relatively easy, and always appreciated. So now that we have how many, what are we going to eat, gifts, and when we're going to exchange them, let's talk about decorations. I love to decorate and kind of create a festive mood. So I started in late September with the front porch, and that gets all the Halloween decorations. A few, not a lot, but a few. We don't have any trick-or-treaters out here, so, but I enjoy having the Halloween decorations up. Grandkids like seeing it anyway. Then the hearth and the mantle get the fall decorations. But then as soon as Halloween is over, Halloween gets put up for the year, and all the fall decorations go to the front porch. And all the Christmas stuff comes into the house. Because we have folks coming at Thanksgiving, the front porch is fall. But then since we're celebrating some Christmas things when we're in here with folks who just come at Thanksgiving, we got the Christmas thing going on here. So then I'm not stressed between Thanksgiving and Christmas to get all the Christmas decorations put up. They're already there. Win-win for me. Now that's my version of family planning. Maybe I've given you some tips that will help you. Most importantly, take some time when you have time. Don't let it be stressful. Let it be enjoyable. And in the end, it's all going to work out. Like I say, the most important thing is spending time with family and friends. That's the best thing that you can give them. It's just your time. So, we got this season ready to go. Let's do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.